The first was my boss's smug voice telling me my annual bonus was being cut to zero. The second was the sound of his son's brand new BMW being repossessed from the company parking lot, just as his $3 million dream deal went up in smoke, all because he made one fatal mistake. He underestimated the quiet man who handled his emails. If you've ever been screwed over by someone in power, a boss, a landlord, anyone who thought they could take from you without consequence, then you know the feeling, that cold, hard knot of injustice in your stomach. This is a story for everyone who's been told to be a team player while someone else steals the trophy. If you know that feeling, hit subscribe. What you're about to hear is a masterclass in quiet, calculated payback. For 2 years, I was the invisible engine at Henderson & Co. My official title was executive assistant, but really, I was the one who kept the wheels from falling off. I managed schedules, handled angry clients, and wrote the proposals that my boss, David Henderson, would then present as his own. David Henderson was the kind of man who believed his own press. He had a mantra he'd repeat at every company meeting: family first. He'd puff out his chest and talk about loyalty. I believed him. I trusted him. That year, I single-handedly landed us Aether Corp, our biggest client ever. It was a 5-year, $3 million deal. It was my masterpiece. Henderson promised me a life-changing bonus: $15,000. For me, that was a down payment on a future. For him, it was pocket change. He called me into his office. He said, "Alex, sit down. I'm afraid I have some difficult news. This Aether deal, the upfront costs are staggering. We have to be prudent. We're a family here, and sometimes family has to make sacrifices. I'm going to have to cut your bonus to zero this year." The air left my lungs. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. I could see the lie in his eyes. The room felt suddenly hot, and my knuckles were white as I gripped the chair. I was powerless. What could I say? I thought to myself, he's lying. I saw the financials. The upfront costs are covered. He's stealing from me. All I could manage to say was, I understand, sir." I left his office feeling like a ghost. That night, I was scrolling through my phone, trying to numb the anger, when I saw it. A social media post from his son, a photo of a smug young man leaning against a brand new blue BMW. The caption, "Pops came through, new ride for graduating, #blessed BMW." And there it was. The math was so simple, so insulting. A base model BMW 3 Series, about $15,000 down. My bonus. He hadn't just stolen my money. He had used it as a down payment on a graduation gift for his worthless son. I stared at that photo. The hurt in my eyes slowly hardened into something else: cold, clear resolve. I thought, family first. He wasn't lying. He just meant his family. He thinks I'm nothing, a tool, a quiet, forgettable tool. Fine. Let's see what happens when the tool fights back. That was the moment the employee died and the ghost was born. I wasn't angry anymore. I was focused. My job gave me access to everything: Henderson's emails, his calendar, his entire digital life. He was too arrogant to think I'd ever look. But now, I was looking for one specific thing. I found it. An email chain with Aether Corp's chief ethics officer. The text was clear. "And as you know, Aether has a zero-tolerance policy for financial misconduct or misappropriation of funds by partner firms." Bingo! Aether Corp was famously ethical. They dropped partners for less. The final contract was sitting in Henderson's inbox, waiting for his signature. He was having a lavish signing ceremony in 3 days. He wanted a photo op. I thought, he wants a party. I'll give him a wake. I didn't need to hack or steal. I just needed to inform. I created a secure, anonymous email account. My message was simple: no accusations, just facts. I wrote, "To the Aether Corp Ethics Committee. Attached, please find two documents. The first is an internal pay stub showing the cancellation of a $15,000 performance bonus for the employee who secured your business. The second is a social media post showing a $15,000 down payment on a luxury vehicle for the son of the company owner, dated the same day. This appears to be a misappropriation of earned employee compensation. I believe this violates Section 4B of your partner ethics agreement. Sincerely, a concerned stakeholder." I attached the documents, took a deep breath, and hit send. The ghost had spoken. The day of the signing, the office was buzzing. There were balloons, a catered lunch. Henderson was preening in his best suit, the contract printed on thick, expensive paper. He was about to sign. The pen was hovering over the paper, and then his personal phone vibrated on the table. Then the phone of the lead Aether executive buzzed. Then another. The room filled with a chorus of quiet, insistent buzzing. Henderson's file faltered. He glanced at his phone. The color drained from his face. He looked up, panicked, at the Aether executives, who were now looking at him with cold, hard stares. The lead executive said, "David, we need to speak. Privately. Now." The executive stood and filed out of the silent, confused room. Henderson followed them, a nervous tick in his eye. The signed stamp was left unused. 10 minutes later, Henderson stumbled out of the side office. He looked like a man who had seen his own ghost. The Aether team left without another word. The party was over. I walked calmly past his open office door. He was slumped in his chair, staring blankly at his computer screen. I leaned in the doorway and said, "Tough break about the car, sir." He looked up, his eyes wide with confusion and rage. I continued, "I saw the repo truck outside hooking up the BMW. I guess times really are tough for everyone." He didn't say a word. He didn't have to. The look in his eyes was all the confirmation I needed. I had won. He had stolen $15,000 from me, and in return, I had cost him $3 million and his son's car. The math in the end was very clear. I thought to myself, family first. I quit the next day. He didn't try to stop me. He knew I had him by the throat. He taught me a valuable lesson, just not the one he intended. He taught me that true power isn't about shouting the loudest. It's about knowing where the levers are and having the patience to pull them at just the right time. He thought he could get away with it because I was quiet. He was wrong. If you believe the quiet ones are the weak ones, think again. If this story of calculated justice satisfied that craving for fairness in your soul, then do me a favor. Smash that like button and tell me in the comments what's the most a boss or coworker has ever taken from you. And subscribe, because we have plenty more stories about the underdogs who fought back and won.